In Massachusetts, there is an area called Essex County. There, many places and events took place that are significant to American history. One event that took place was the Salem witch trials in Salem, Massachusetts. Roger Conant was a man who came to America from England. He moved to Plymouth at first, but did not like the strictness. Because he did not like the strictness, he and a group of men discovered Nutmeg, now called Salem. When it was found out that Roger had found this place, it was taken over by England, but Roger was not allowed to stay. Roger was allowed on the Board of Selectmen, and before the English had come in was the governor. Roger was the first to build a house in Salem. This house still stands today. This quote describes Roger's input in the colony. Although Roger Conant was not the foremost leader in Massachusetts, he certainly was instrumental in the development of it. He was the first settler of Salem, was agent of the beginning of the colony for 3 years, and served in many civic capacities. He was known to be one of the great intriguers and characters, and always put the good of the community ahead of his own desires and ideas. He was an excellent arbiter and often settling matters that could have caused much division and death. Also, because of his connections and reputation in England, his influence brought the formation of Massachusetts colony into the reality. During the time of the witch trials, the people then lived differently than we do. One way is that they had a lot more land than we do. This is because they grew their own produce and kept their own livestock. They needed to have their own livestock so that they could have meat and did not have to buy it when it was more expensive. Also, they had their own produce so that they did not have to buy it at such high prices. Another way they lived differently is that they would have a garden right outside their kitchen for the spices and herbs they used on a daily basis. In the house, the women would spend most of their time in the kitchen. In the kitchen, there was a fireplace for the cooking and usually a table. This table would have two purposes, one for preparation and then for eating. Also in the house was the living room. In the living room, there was usually another fireplace. This fireplace was used as a second place for cooking the food. Also, it was used to heat the room. The living room was also contained a spinning wheel that was used to make cloth for the family's clothes. Also in the living room was a couch at day and a bed at night. In the upstairs, there was a bedroom. In the bedroom, there was a bed that was made out of hay and sometimes feather. There was also a baby's bassinet. The witch trials began in the year 1692. Throughout the entire witch trials, there were 19 men and women executed and hundreds accused. All the accusations began when girls started to have unexplained weird behavior. This behavior needed an explanation, so people turned to witchcraft. One quote can sum up the craft trials. There really was no one particular cause for the Salem witch trials. A combination of events and factors such as economical, political, imaginations and fears of the people of Salem, family feuds, teenage boredom, the ongoing frontier war, and the Puritan religious beliefs of the time helped in the creation of breeding grounds for the birth and growth of the witch trials. Throughout the witch trials, people were also guilty until proven innocent. This would cause major problems because there was no way to prove you were innocent when being accused of a witch, especially when being accused from a wealthy person. The broad knowledge of the witch trials brings up a specific person, Rebecca Nurse. Rebecca Nurse was 71 when she was accused. Rebecca was the daughter of William Towney and a sister of two, Mary and Sarah, who were also accused of witchcraft. Rebecca was one described like this. This vulnerable lady, who conversation and bearing were so truly saint-like, was an invalid of extremely delicate condition and parents, the mother of a large family, embracing sons, daughters, grandchildren, and one or more great-grandchildren. She was a woman of pity and simplicity of heart. Even though the most thought of her this way, some did not. She was one of the first unlikely witnesses accused. Her accusers were often hesitant when accusing her. Also, girls would often pretend to have fits in the courtroom. During her trial, people made a petition on Rebecca's behalf. One of those who had signed it was someone who had once complained about her odd behavior. Towards the end of the trial, Rebecca was proven innocent, but during this, girls again pretended to have fits. Because of this, they were urged to reconsider their previous decision. When they reconsidered, Rebecca Nurse was proven guilty. Rebecca Nurse was sentenced to death on June 30th and executed on July 19th.
you.